Unit 3, Formula 1, Day 2. Today we're going to be talking about slope from points. Yesterday we defined slope as the steepness of a line. Okay, we also said that it was the same thing as rate of change. And what we used to find it from a graph yesterday was rise over run. If you remember, rise went up and down, run went left and right. Well, up and down, those are the y values, and right and left are the x values. So if you look, y is on top and x is on the bottom. If you can remember that, it'll help you remember this formula. M is slope. In formulas and equations, we're going to use the letter M for slope. Okay, M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is the formula we're going to use to find slope from 2 points. Okay, so go ahead and write that down. Pause it if you need to. Alright, so here's the first 2 points. So find the slope from the 2 points. So we need to label these. In a point, remember the first number is the x, the second number is the y. So we're going to call this x1 and y1. Over here, the first number is x, the second number is y, so we're going to call that x2 and y2. Okay, you should have the formula written down right in front of you. Okay, M equals y2, which is 5, minus y1, which is 2, over x2, which is negative 9, minus 3. Then you just go ahead and subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3. Negative 9 minus 3 is negative 12. So my slope is negative 3 over 12. I need to simplify that. 3 goes into the top and the bottom, so it's 1 over negative 4. Now if you look, my negative sign's with the bottom. It could be with the top. The only thing you have to be careful with is if you have a negative on top and bottom, a negative divided by a negative makes both of them positive. Okay, so my slope is negative 1/4. Alright, so let's find the slope from these two. So again, I label it every time. It makes it much easier. x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so my slope, or my m, is going to be y2, which is 7, minus y1, which is negative 1, over my x2, which is 2, minus x1, which is 4. If you notice, on top you have 2 negative signs right next to each other, and that makes them both positive. So that's actually 7 plus 1, which is 8. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Again, we can simplify. Top and bottom can be divided by 2. So we get 4 over negative 1. Yes, you could put negative 4, it's the right answer, but I like my slope to be a fraction. That way we can graph it easily. Find the slope from these 2 points. So you have your x1, y1, x2, y2. Y's always go on top. Remember, m means slope. Okay, so you have negative 5 minus a negative 5 over 3 minus a negative 6. On top and bottom you have negative signs next to each other, so you change those ones to positives. So on top you get negative 5 plus 5, which is 0, and 3 plus 6, which is 9. What's 0 divided by 9? 0. What kind of a line has a slope of 0? Remember, that's like having no fun. That'd be a flat line, or also known as a horizontal line. Okay, so a horizontal line has a slope of 0. On this one, we have our x1, y1, x2, y2. M is slope, so M equals y2, which is 10, minus y1, which is 7, over... Okay, on the bottom you have your x, which is 3 minus 3. So on top you have 3, on the bottom you have 0. 3 divided by 0. Can you divide by 0? No. And if you would, you get an error message, which means it's undefined. So when the 0 is on the bottom, that's undefined. Remember, that'd be if your body was hard to find or undefined. Okay, that's a vertical line. Straight up and down. Alright, last but not least, they want to know if these tables have a constant rate of change, meaning are they going up at the same rate each time. So we look at the left side. From 2 to 4, how do you get there? Well, you add 2. And from 4 to 6, you add 2. So those ones are going up at the same pace each time. On the right side, 80 to 160, you add 80. 160 to 240, you add 80. Okay, so it is going up at the same speed each time. On the left side by 2, on the right side by 80. And to find the rate of change, you take your y's, which is your 80, and you divide by your x's over there, which is 2. And 80 divided by 2 is 40. So your average rate of change is 40. Now, remember, rate of change is the same thing as your slope. So the slope for that line would have been 40. Okay, let's try this next one over here. On this side, 10 to 20 is plus 10. 20 to 30 plus 10. 30 to 40 plus 10. Okay, on the right side, 80 to 60, down 20. 60 to 40, down 20. 40 to 20, down 20. So they are going up at the same speed, so they do have a constant rate of change. And to find what that is, you take the right side, or the y's, negative 20, and divide by the x's. And negative 20 divided by 10 is negative 2. So your average rate of change is negative 2. Okay, last one on the left side, excuse me, your x's, they're going up by 1, 1, and 1. So that side's fine. On this side, the 10 to 20 is plus 10. 20 to 40 is plus 20. 40 to 80 is plus 40. So does that have an average rate of change? No, it does not. Okay, so if they don't go up at the same speed on both sides, then your answer is just no. Alright, we'll see you tomorrow.